terms of injuries, the $1,000,000 question that everyone asks when they see me hit a most muscular or like a hands on the legs most muscular like this is, did you have a pec injury? Did you tear your pec? And I'm like, yeah, that's why my pec is dented in on the one side. I tore my pec bench pressing before I ever considered being a bodybuilder. I was a senior. It was actually a week before my 21st birthday. I was in college. I was getting too strong, too fast, and I was kind of like a power builder type. I was like, I wanted to be big. I wanted to have that bodybuilder look, but I also prided myself on being really strong in the gym.
5 years ago today, I had reconstructive knee surgery, which is pretty crazy that it was today.
Was it today?
Yeah. ACL meniscus, complete rupture. It was from football, actually, not training. Was playing in a rec league. I came off the end, got hit. My leg stayed in the turf and my knee went out, and absolute most horrible pain in my life.
And I was benching 365 flat benching on the 7th rep. Went down, and I heard, and it jumped. My whole pec rolled up in my chest. I heard it sound like Velcro pulling apart in my headphones through my music blasting. But we racked the weight, looked over, and I knew. And we were only at the gym for like 15 minutes at that point. Left. By the next day, the whole inside of my arm was black and blue, like a tribal tattoo. And I went to the orthopedist. He said it was a muscle-on-muscle rupture, so they couldn't do any surgery. Whereas, like they said, it'd be like sewing roast beef together, so it wouldn't hold.
It actually happened in December, so it was about 3 months before I had the surgery. And the rehab for that, I'm not even quite sure how long I didn't train legs for, but I got on stage 16 weeks later. For whatever reason, I was determined to get on stage. So I had the surgery. 16 weeks later, I did Team U 2011. And you could tell if you look at those pictures, my right leg is a fraction of the size of my left leg. And that's because I didn't train legs. I don't think that whole prep.
He said if the tendon ripped out of the bone, which would have been a lot major of an injury, they would be able to screw it back in. It would be about a 6-month recovery, but it would probably make the look a little bit more repaired. For me, it was kind of like where the front delt connects to the pec, it kind of just pulled off, and then like the muscle tore.
I did the bike, which was my whole cardio, because I couldn't do the treadmill, I couldn't do the stairs, couldn't do the elliptical, I couldn't have anything that was pounding of my knee. But now my knee is the strongest it's ever been. My squats are through the roof, and I actually have more pain if I don't squat. It gets a little tight sometimes, and I have to like crack it.
You know, it was an 8-week recovery. So I didn't train chest for 8 weeks. I didn't train back for 7. Arms, I did what I could, you know, very carefully. Legs, of course, I did a lot of that, like 3 times a week. And then shoulders probably was like 4 or 5 weeks. So I felt it out as I went each week. When I came back and after 8 weeks and did chest, it was still a little sore, but I was doing 40-pound dumbbells. I was doing like sets of 50, and I started getting ridiculous workouts. I was sore, workouts were great, the look was pretty good, and I kind of realized at that point that maybe you don't have to work out only doing 3 or 4 reps per set of the heaviest thing every single time you work out. Maybe there's some truth to this volume, you know, high frequency training, and I kind of got into that and realized that, one, if you injure yourself, you're going to be lifting 0 pounds. It don't matter. You're not going to be lifting anything of any kind after you get injured. So you have to use your head and be smart about it.
It's all about your mindset and we have to come back from. You know, Gary found a way to work around an injury and get back to where he is, and so did I. It's, you know, everyone goes through it. We've all had small injuries. Not everyone has had big injuries, but you just got to figure out a way to get through it, and you will be back.